We do know that there is now a verdict in the Raj Rajaratnam insider trading case. He could be facing as many as 20 years. Don't know the verdict as yet. We'll bring it to you as we get it. John Erlichman standing by in our newsroom. John, this was the 12th day of deliberations that we're in.
Yes.
Any sense of what has changed over these 12 days?
Well, look, over these 12 days, Margaret, we know the jury has listened to a lot of tape. In fact, we were wondering if we might get a verdict earlier in the week or perhaps later in the week, but you were expecting there was going to be at least this process of a couple of weeks for the jury to go through all the counts. Remember, there are 14 counts against Raj Rajaratnam, and since this is a case that is primarily based on what was said on tape, of course it's supported by the testimony in court, but because it's based, the government's case is based on all that wiretap commentary, the conversations between Raj Rajaratnam and his alleged associates. They had to go through that tape, go through each piece of tape as it pertained to each count, and you've got to come to agreement among all the jurors on each of those counts. And the point is, that's why it has been taking some time for them to get through this. We also know that last week there was a development with one of the jurors leaving because of medical reasons, so they had to bring in an alternate. And at the time, a lot of people were asking the question, well, does that mean that they're going to have to start from the beginning, scratch everything? A lot of analysts and pundits were saying not necessarily, because at the end of the day, they just have to get everybody on board with things. And in these types of cases, it can take you upwards of 2 weeks, and we're really at that point right now. So you would expect that they would have been getting close to this point. It was just a matter of, again, going through each count and then listening to the supporting tape to figure out where they are.
Right, and for Raj himself, he's accused of these 14 counts, as you say, and accused of profiting in the realm of tens of millions of dollars. Yes. On these trades that he executed reportedly with insider information. We're seeing reports on here about some of those jurors. As you say, one of them had been replaced recently. Yeah. New York Post saying that one of them was a graphic designer for Apple, New York City school teacher, a nurse. I mean, they're not necessarily his peers.
Exactly, and I'm also hearing that we might hear this verdict within an hour's time. So we're going to know very soon. We should make sure that gets out there. But you're right, and this is a jury that a lot of people said is the typical type of jury that you would get in the state of New York. The background that we had on the jurors in this case.